Number 10. The only person in this video who doesn't find the prank funny is the teacher at the front of the classroom. My guess is that this is a teacher who really cares about having authority over the kids, considering they never talk and they try to suppress their laughter quite a lot. He's explaining something at the front of the class when he decides to go over to the chalkboard and write something out explaining it. So he pulls the board down and the other half of the board rises up behind it. And that's when we see that someone has drawn a giant penis on the board. It was a pretty juvenile thing to do, and it was almost certainly a boy who did it. But if you're not in on the joke, then it's probably a hilarious thing to see when suddenly there's a giant penis. When the teacher finally spots it, he starts asking who did it, before finally storming out of the room when nobody owns up. I guess he can't take a joke.
Put it on, yeah. ¿Quién ha sido gracioso? ¿Quién ha sido gracioso? ¿Quién ha sido gracioso? Pero no voy a hacer clases, señor. No voy a hacer clases, voy a llamar a los tutores. Ok, y hasta que no me digan quién es el gracioso.
Number 9. This next clip has gone incredibly viral since it was uploaded in April 2014. So you may have seen it before, but it's definitely something you enjoy every time you watch it. The video description explains that their economics professor has a policy that whenever somebody's phone rings during a lecture, they have to answer it on speakerphone. And with that in mind, a few of them decided to play an April Fool's joke on him. They arranged for somebody to call one of the girls telling her that the results of a pregnancy test have come back as being positive, and discusses with her things about maternity support and how the father is no longer in the picture. The teacher goes to apologize when the girl tells him it's okay. She already knows what she's going to name the baby. The first name will be April and the middle name will be Fools.
Thank you. I'll call back later. Thank you.
Hey, I want to publicly apologize.
That's okay.
I'm very sorry.
I've been expecting this, and
Okay.
I already know what I'm going to name the baby. The first name will be April, and the middle name will be Fools.
Number 8. This one is unique because it's not a student pranking a teacher, it's another teacher pranking a teacher. Unlike the last one, this one isn't nearly as popular, having under 4,000 views, so you're probably seeing it for the first time. It's not too complicated of a prank, but the teacher, identified as Mr. Carver by the video description, goes to sit down in his chair at the front of the room, and when the chair dips a little under his weight, it presses down on an air horn that must be taped there. While he's still frightened from the sound of the air horn, the fellow teacher comes over and reveals the prank was his idea all along, and they even high-five before he points out the hidden camera. Considering there's a schedule for final exams on the blackboard behind him, I'd say the kids probably deserve a treat like that to keep their morale high.
Thomas, what needs to go out or be put up?
I have to finish.
Well, you can finish it after you start my final. You're on my time now.
All
Okay,
right.
you need to separate.
What the heck was that?
Somebody see her prank too. Somebody see her.
Number 7. This prank is ingenious and really takes advantage of the fact there are both the dry erase and wet erase whiteboard marker pens. It's like the hidden penis prank we saw at the beginning, but on another level. The whiteboard has a drawing of a cat on it and a message above reading, "I know you love the kitty cats. Erase me." And it takes the guy a while to decide if he's going to erase it or not. Eventually he does what the whiteboard tells him to do, and the message completely changes, because all the parts of the cat that wipe off make the cat into a penis. So the message reads at the end of the clip, "I know you love the D, fail." Unfortunately, I'm not sure he found it very funny, but everyone else on the internet definitely did.
Oh, this is stupid. What the? Oh, that's nice.
Number 6. The context of this prank is that the uploader and his friend had the idea to hide a tiny Bluetooth speaker in the sink next to his teacher's speakers and then randomly start playing music in the middle of class. Typically, everyone in the room is in on it, which makes it even funnier. As soon as he sits down, they start playing music, and he gets totally freaked out and even says it's like that one scene in Beetlejuice where they all start singing and dancing on the table. They play the music whenever he starts touching his computer so that he thinks it's something to do with him, why it keeps coming on. And he even unplugs the audio cable from the computer in the end. It's hilarious how long this goes on for until they finally put him out of his misery and tell him what's going on.
How come my music went on? Have you ever seen Beetlejuice? Have you ever seen Beetlejuice when they start dancing on the tables and they can't stop? Somebody's got a remote control in here.
Number 5. When it's your first day of college, I'm sure the first thing everybody did was arrange a prank to get an actor pretending to be the professor to come in a few minutes early. To be honest, I'm not actually sure who organized this prank, if it was one of the freshmen or maybe an older student who snuck into the lecture to film it. It's a win-win though, because they're pranking both the real professor and all the students, who are pretty relieved to find out that this guy isn't their real teacher after he tells them he doesn't allow laptops or cell phones. And if he sees anyone with them, there will be repercussions to their grades. When the real professor comes down the stairs and starts asking the other guy who the hell he is, everyone in the room laughs with relief, and then the imposter literally sprints away to get to the door.
On your grade. Okay, so let's get started with the chemistry. Who the hell are you? Who are you?
You had the hairline down, right? Okay, so that guy is not Dr. H. I'm Dr. H.
Number 4. Senior pranks are a big tradition, with people competing to do bigger and better pranks every year to leave their legacy on the school. This prank involves the students of the class replacing 2 computer monitors of some of the oldest computers I've ever seen, switching one that works for one that doesn't work. Then the video cuts to a footage of a guy smashing apart the computer pieces and breaking the thing, to which the teacher starts yelling for the kid to get the F out of there. When he's out of the room, they switch the computers again and put the real one back. And then some words of advice come at the end telling us that nobody was suspended, but the teacher retired very soon after this happened. And a message not to do it at your school.
Computers suck.
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Wait.
Get the hell out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Number 3. To anybody with a rat phobia, this next prank is sort of cruel, but it's pretty harmless considering the whole point of the joke is that there is no rat. Not that that stops one girl from starting to cry by the end of the clip. It's just some kids sitting around when one of them starts filming on their phone, and the other one looks at the floor by his feet and shouts as loud as he can that there's a rat. And then they all climb onto the tables. Their convincing performances is the thing that makes everybody else in the room scatter and run to the edges, totally abandoning all the tables and chairs. There's complete chaos, and the teacher has no clue what's going on as the kids are literally cowering under desks to hide from the imaginary rat.
Oh, so right!
Number 2. Being tricked into playing the scary maze game and scared out of your mind is practically a rite of passage now, with there still being some gullible people out there who don't know what it is. An innocent biology teacher was one such person when this video of her class convincing her to play the game on the large smartboard reached the internet. You can tell by the kids laughing that they all knew what was coming. Though the weirdest thing about this video is that the teacher is singing Jingle Bells to herself the whole time. Even weirder since the video was uploaded in April. It's one of the funniest things you'll see when the screamer of the girl from The Exorcist comes up and the teacher screams too and literally falls to the floor at the front of her classroom.
Concentrate. Concentrate. I need to get through all 5 levels.
All I planted is to ride in one horse open sled. Frosty the Snowman was a happy.
Number 1. Number 1 is yet another senior prank, where some kids got into school super early in the morning and wove yarn through all the corridors between all the lockers, presumably to cause chaos when all the kids came in that morning. Instead, it was triggered before it was supposed to be by a teacher getting in early when they were just finishing, and the teacher proceeds to just walk through all the yarn and drag it with him through the halls. The teacher doesn't think it's funny at all though, and it's lucky that he doesn't spot the camera filming the whole thing. Clearly though, it is funny, because all the kids are laughing and it has 2.7 million views on YouTube.
Oh, this is nice. Whoever did it, cleared off the doors. I don't find humor in it. It's destructive. It's either toothpaste or shaving cream all over the doors. YOLO!
Oh, are you serious?
No, you will not redo the hallway. I have to make multiple trips down to the office. I'm not dealing with this crap. Go somewhere.